So my name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. It is day 22 of Vlogmas. There's only a couple more days to go to Christmas. I can't believe it. I thanks for everyone who watched the Ritz video. I had such a good time. Obviously, I'm like the opposite of how glam I was yesterday. Now I'm here with no makeup on, my hair scraped back. But no, we had a really nice time. I mean, I've been to the Ritz years ago with my grandma for afternoon tea, and when I was a kid I went with my mum once for afternoon tea, but never for dinner. It felt very extravagant. And yeah, it was just very special, very Christmassy sort of evening. It was lovely. So yeah, a big treat. Don't know if we'll be doing it next year. Very pricey, but you never know. You never know. But no, it was really, really like a sort of special one-off thing to do. I really enjoyed it. I was wearing my green Tamsin dress, which is made, as I said before, I made it for a bridesmaid's dress for a wedding last year for one of my very best friends. It was modified a bit from the pattern, so it didn't have any tucks. I cut the sleeve as normal, but instead of the tucks, I just left as is and then did a gathered elasticated wrist. So we had sort of billowy sleeve. And also, so normally on Tamsin, it has the facing for the neckline is on the outside, but I had it on the inside. So I just sewed it the other way and flipped it in. Didn't make any other changes. There were no tucks in the skirt either, so I just cut that a bit shorter. I think that was it. It's so long ago that I made it. But I just love the colour. I love it for all year round, but it was very Christmassy. And my girlfriend who we went with, she was wearing a red dress. So the two of us together looked very, very festive. Nate was wearing a blue velvet jacket, very dark blue velvet jacket. He looks really great. Velvet jacket, he really pulls it off. So no, it was just a really lush evening. So today it's the last day before we go away, so it's been quite hectic sort of getting stuff done. My brother has come to stay because we're leaving early tomorrow, and my sewing room is our spare room, and it was an absolute mess. So I spent a lot of today tidying up that room, and going to get the last few bits we need, wrapping Christmas presents, all of those sorts of things. Now I'm going to get on to something that happened when we cleaned the room in a second, but I also thought I would just share I finished my pyjamas. So I put the waistband on the Hudson pants, which was the last thing that I had to do for my Christmas pyjamas, and they look really cute. I haven't taken any pictures yet, and I'm saving them to wear on holiday. They're packed up now, so you will see them maybe in tomorrow's post. I also have the embroidery packed to bring with me, and I'm going to be embroidering away, trying to get that finished. I'm a bit worried that I'm going to run out of red thread, but we'll see how far we can get. And yeah, I'm going to try and get that finished up, and then sewn up into a cushion to give to my grandma. So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing when I'm away. I had another Minerva, I picked my fabric for the toaster sweater that I shared the other day, which is the pattern that Judy sent me. And I ended up, so the way Minerva, the brand ambassador program, works is they have a humongous list of fabrics. So you can't just pick anything from the website. They have a big list of fabrics that you can choose from. And I knew I wanted probably a French terry, but possibly some sweatshirting would work as well. So I selected a mix. So basically you select a few and they'll say, okay, you can have this one out of those. So I picked a couple of French terries in sort of a petrol colour, dark petrol colour, a couple in like a burgundy and a couple in like a cobalt blue. And I've been given one of the French terries in dark petrol. So petrol is sort of, I think, like a really dark teal, so sort of bluey greeny colour. But just like slightly like much less bright than a teal. I just really love that shade. And again, I was very restrained, so I thought I'm going to make one that's just plain and that I know will go with a lot of things in my wardrobe, with a view that I suspect I'll make lots more. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's quite late. I'm very tired. So yeah. Now, the thing that happened when I was cleaning out the room is I found a pile of works in progress of things that I'd completely forgotten about, so that I'd cut out, or some of them I'd started sewing or started working on. And some of them are quite summery, so I've put them in a more obvious place for me to pick up in a few months maybe. But there are a couple that I think I'm going to prioritise once I get my current sort of project piled down. I'm going to prioritise getting these done. So I just thought I might share with you what some of those are. I felt really bad that there were so many that I just sort of forgotten about. So I'm determined to get them sewn up. So I've just bought some individual pieces of each fabric to show you, and I can talk you through the patterns. So I'd cut out in this fabric, which is a velvet, not a stretch velvet, just like a normal velvet. I think I bought this from Rainbow Fabric. So it's sort of, I thought it was like a purpley colour when I bought it, but it's more sort of a burgundy or like a brown colour when you look at it, maybe more burgundy, and it's got these little dots on it. But it's velvet. It's really nice and soft, the velvet. I actually cut out a lyra dress, Tilly the Buttons pattern. I've made a few lyras. It's always either been in like quite a crisp cotton or in a viscose, so nice and drapey. So this is a bit of a departure, but I know on the pattern in one of the samples that the other model wore, I think they had one that was maybe in corduroy or something. Have I made that up? Hopefully not. But I think it will work in a heavier fabric, but it's obviously more of a sort of winter autumnal dress. But I think I might still, we've got a good few cold months ahead of us, right? So I'm thinking it might be worth still making this one up, putting some nice sort of goldy buttons on it or something just to lift it a bit. So that's one thing. I also have another, so if you remember, I made a Dorothy jacket out of what was it called? Soft shell. So this is Sew Over It pattern. I made it out of a sort of burgundy soft shell, but actually previously to that I'd cut out one in this yellow corduroy, which I bought from our local fabric shop in Godalming, which is called I Want This Crafts. And it's a lovely, I think you'd call it a needle cord probably. It's like a very fine cord. And I cut this out, and this is, I think, the back piece. It picks up, the thing with cord is it picks up literally every bit of dust that passes. But I was going to make this jacket. Again, I think that can be quite a nice transitional one. This fabric is actually quite light. So I think for winter it's probably not quite enough. But I think for sort of going into the spring, or like maybe like a summer evening or going into autumn, I think that'd be quite nice. So that's going to be high up on my list as well. And one of the other things I made up was the, what are they called? Is it the Carolyn pyjamas? Is that what they're called? The closet core pyjama patterns. I think it might be the Carolyn pyjamas, but I basically sewed up some shorts and then I had cut out the top and never got around to sewing it. So this is, let me just find the right side of the fabric. This is the fabric. So this was one definitely from Rainbow Fabrics. And it's sort of like a satin, but it has got a bit of, I don't know if it's, is there such thing as a satin twill? I don't know. It's got the sort of like little ridges. So it's not just like a normal satin, but this is dead stock. I think it was River Island dead stock. And it's orange and it's got these lavender sort of flower outlines on it. And I just thought they're perfect for some summery pyjamas. So as I said, I've made some PJ shorts. And then I've cut out the shirt with short sleeves, and I put the like sort of lavender piping in, and the shorts are really cute. So that's another thing that I definitely want to finish before things start to get hotter in the spring and summer. Oh, excuse me, you're running all over the place. Anyway, I better go. I've got to finish packing, and then we've got a long drive tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you, but I will be back on tomorrow, and I will be recording in Durham. So I will be somewhere else entirely. I don't know how much I'll have to report on because I'll have been driving most of the day, but maybe I've done some embroidery too. Anyway, I hope you're all well and really enjoying the last couple of days before Christmas. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right, thank you. Bye.